like, my family is very messed up.
I mean, if you go through a trauma like the Holocaust, I would imagine it would have impact.
They teach that trauma between generations. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, trauma very often in a lot of circumstances is passed down. I mean, I know some kids of Holocaust survivors who turned out fantastic and some who didn't. I mean, that's
yeah. Okay. So you are officially woke. That is what wokeness is about. It's like, people's grandparents or their great-grandparents were slaves.
Well, it's okay. No, it's okay.
I'm talking.
Guys, I actually want to hear. I want to hear.
No, this
it's
guy,
okay. It's okay. I want to hear. Let's at least hear the argument. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Go.
What? He wants to hear me.
I do want to hear it. It's fine. Let him go. Let's hear it.
Come on. I'll just,
So explain how that's woke.
So, I mean, the whole thing is like, let's see. So during Silent Calvin Coolidge's administration, do you know about like the Great Mississippi Flood back in the 1930s?
I understand that American history is filled with racial evil.
Yeah. And that causes some intergenerational trauma, which affects people's ability to be,
so let me
things like that.
Fine. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why? So if the idea is that history has consequences, of course that's true. That's not wokeness.
Yeah.
That is not wokeness. What wokeness suggests is that fundamental institutions in American society are so. Yes, it 100% does.
I ran Elizabeth Warren's campaign. I helped organize her volunteers around here. I am a representative of wokeness.
Okay, well,
and that's just, this is all it is.
Well, I mean, there are racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No, it's not going in a weird direction. I don't really want to
get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments. Now it's time for me to respond because I let you say the full argument.
Okay, I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
If the idea is that traumas of the past invariably bleed down into the present, that does not explain why certain groups that have been historically not only marginalized but slaughtered in mass genocide are some of the most successful groups in our society. So if the idea is that past trauma always equals current inequality, or that my actions in, say, robbing a convenience store are attributable to bad actions that happened in Alabama in 1930, the answer to that is no. Don't rob the convenience store. The only way that you're going to be able to break the chain of history is to make good decisions. What people on the left don't like to talk about is actual solutions. What they like to do is bitch about problems that existed 60 years ago and blame those for failures to solve them now.
Ben Shapiro making some great points, but I want to point out something about the beginning of that clip we just saw. There were hecklers in the audience, and he told them to, pipe down a little bit. And then people were yelling, "I thought you believe in free speech." Of course, Ben Shapiro believes in free speech, but that doesn't give a heckler the right to interrupt someone who is on a stage speaking. But what Ben Shapiro was talking about here is personal responsibility. And he's saying that we need to make good decisions in our life to propel ourselves forward instead of relying on past transgressions that we may not even have been alive to witness or see or understand. Of course, we've done bad things in our history in this nation, and we recognize those and try to move forward in a much more positive and prosperous direction. But without personal responsibility and trying to elevate yourself personally, you're never going to be the best version of yourself or the most productive member of society. And we can't just allow people to say, because I fit into a certain group or race or class or creed or come from a certain socioeconomic status, it makes my behavior excusable. We always have to strive to do better, and Ben Shapiro loves holding people accountable, and I think this speech was another example of that.